And we are live, folks. Welcome to the Sit Down Standard, the podcast celebrating all the amazing things you can do while sitting, whether it's enjoying movies, watching television, or playing games. I'm one of your hosts, David Bray. I'm joined, as always, by Gerald Bales.
Hi.
And special guest, my wife, Alyssa Bray.
Hello.
You always got that nice hello.
What did she turn from a special guest to just, it's Alyssa?
Oh, well, eventually she's on here enough. Okay, so first things first, we're going to skip What You Doing because we're going to pretty much get into that right now. We just got done seeing Captain America Civil War. We're going to do a full spoiler cast, but before we get to that, we're just going to do a proper review. This is going to be a non-spoiler review. We all literally just got done seeing it. It's a little late, so, it'll be fun. Generally, let's start out with, go ahead.
This is my review.
Uh-oh.
It's really good.
You can write that on the back of the box.
Yeah.
No, I think this... Okay, so real quick. Let's just go real quick what we thought about it. Just very, very brief, and then we'll get into it. I'll start with me, since I'm
Of course
starting.
you will.
Of course I will.
First.
Yep.
I think this movie is excellent. It's not as good as what I thought it was going to be. It was some twists and turns in the movie, but generally it kind of checks all the boxes, which is not a bad thing, but it didn't blow my mind. It wasn't the first Avengers, but that might just be because my expectations for these movies now is way, way high.
You always have high expectations.
Yeah. So that's my just real quick reaction. What's yours?
It was good. It was very action packed.
There you go. Lean
Yeah,
up.
lots of fighting.
Yeah, from front or from beginning to end, yeah.
And then, but I was expecting more because people I've been talking to, they're like, it was epic. And I was like,
It was,
okay,
yeah.
But,
But what would you say it's like one of your favorite Marvel movies or
no.
no? Okay, good. That's good. Okay.
I'd have to watch a couple times to see what's my favorite. It's definitely, like you said, not better than Avengers, but Avengers isn't the bar for me. Like, the bar for me is like, I don't
Ultron?
know, Iron Man. No,
Okay.
Ultron's like bad. Not
No,
bad.
but you know what I mean. I'm saying like, what was your expectation going into it?
That's going to be a good movie because Winter Soldier was top 5 MCU movies.
It
Okay.
was definitely good.
Yeah, really good, solid movie.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about it without spoiling anything. Obviously, this movie I think it is epic. There's the movie starts off really fast. This movie is, in fact, the movie shows like when they jump to different locations, they literally put on the screen the name of the city, just so you're like, hey, we're in
Berlin,
So you
like
can
really
keep
big.
up with them.
No, yeah, there's a lot of moving parts in this movie. It's weird because it's one of the, obviously it's not an origin story, and they introduce new characters, which you've seen in the trailers. We're not ruining anything there. But they kind of take the audience serious, which makes sense. I mean, this is like their 12th, 11th, 13th Marvel movie?
10th or 11th.
Wow.
I mean, if you're following along, like you're following along. So I appreciate that they take the audience serious. You know, they don't hold your hand.
They can't anymore.
Right. And like when we got into the movie, the usher came in and he's like, okay, this will be, Captain America Civil War. It's a 240 minutes. And we were like,
sit down.
holy smokes, that is a long freaking movie. It was, it felt like 1.5 movies, to be perfectly honest. There's a part in the kind of the third act of the movie feels like an entirely new movie, because there is like a conflict and then it's kind of resolved and then it's, you know what the third act reminded me of the third act in Pearl Harbor. It's not bad. It's just, okay.
Like Pearl Harbor, the movie?
Yeah, like we're
Movie's
like
really bad.
No, but you know what I'm talking about with
Yeah,
Pearl
yeah,
Harbor.
yeah.
The it's
The whole
it's,
invasion thing. It could be a separate movie.
right. It's
Yeah.
like reset, shuffle the deck. Here we go again.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's almost what the third act of this
Are
movie
they
feels
getting
like.
you ready for the next one?
I think so. There's obviously some setup for an additional movie, which they're going to make a ton of these movies.
Yeah,
so.
I thought the same thing too, but then it kind of got back into the Civil War thing. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. The movie does a good job of. These are people who are friends. You know what I mean? Like they're fighting.
Yeah, a lot of emotional stuff in this movie.
Yeah, and it's a lot of it's almost like sparring. It feels like and they even make references in the movie like they're when they're fighting each other, they're actually like pulling punches, and they really don't want to hurt each other. They're just like, look, you're giving me no choice.
Yeah.
Obviously the backstory is a little bit of, they've talked about it in the trailers. You have one faction who's essentially wants to have oversight after the events of Ultron and
All
the
the
events
movies,
of
yeah.
and New York, and they make references to all of them, which is great. Again, taking your audience serious.
And one of those events happens at the beginning of the movie, so it kind of like
Yeah.
brings you back in.
Yeah. And it does a good job of basically showing there can be humor while two people are fighting a civil war. I mean, that's what I think was, and I know we're going to draw a lot of probably comparisons to Superman versus Batman, which Alyssa didn't see, but she did watch our spoiler. I'm saying in this sense of like two characters fighting who shouldn't be fighting, you know, in the traditional sense of they're good guys.
I don't plan on bringing that movie up at all.
No,
Try
but
not
I'm
to.
saying,
Gives me nightmares.
No, but you know what I mean. I mean, this movie I think actually does a good job of showing why it's the internal struggle of these characters of having to make that hard decision. There, you see it on the screen, like, and it also reminds me a lot of, I love the interactions. Everyone's really cool in this movie. Like, everybody gets a little bit cooler than their traditional powers. Everybody gets to use their abilities in some kind of different and unique way. And right off of the bat, the movie also feels like all of the characters have been training. They all like know how to work together.
That, and they really know how to hone in their power, like
Yeah,
use their abilities to their best of their.
And everyone gets like just a little bit of screen time, just enough screen time to show all the cool new stuff.
Yeah.
That we haven't seen before in these characters in other movies. You know, just enough.
And it feels like I'm surprised that they're not going to do. I mean, I think they were in talks of doing a Hawkeye, Black Widow movie, or kind of a Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. type of movie. They should, because Hawkeye is. I liked him in this movie. I like Black Widow. I like the Falcon. I think all of those characters who are kind of the B characters. They're not the Captain America and Iron Man and you know, that level, but they do a good job of highlighting some of their unique abilities. But again, this movie does what all of the Avengers movies have done. They rip those comic book panels out where one character is helping another character. You know, it's just like there's so many cool ways. Like, for instance, this is just a real quick one. Like, the Falcon is flying and he throws Captain America. It's in like one of the trailers actually, I think. And he like comes crashing down. It's just really cool how they use all of the different, like you were talking about, they all have learned how to use their abilities, not just in themselves, but together.
Yep.
And you see some of the fruits bearing of that training that's kind of essentially happened between the last Avengers and, this movie. So generally, I if you're a comic book fan, you're going to go see this movie. Everyone's going to go see this movie, but it's a great movie. But for me, I don't think it's even in. I don't know if it's better than Winter Soldier. I enjoyed Winter Soldier more because I enjoyed the spy movie. This is kind of, I don't know what genre of movie this is.
This is an Avengers movie.
It's a I mean,
it's Avengers 2.5.
It really is. Yeah. I think it's better than Ultron in my opinion. But
it's better than Ultron, definitely.
And they introduce like I said, a bunch of new characters, and they do. Some of the fight scenes in this are amazing.
Yeah.
And
I
just
think the commentary's the best.
Oh, between the banter between the characters?
Yeah.
That's always been the thing with these Marvel movies, too. It's like in super serious situations, you still have these little jokes and quips and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, you wanted to talk about Batman vs. Superman, but that's like something that's missing from that movie, and you could see how much better these movies are with that humor.
Exactly. And again, you get to see some new abilities from lots of different characters, and it does a good job of giving everybody an opportunity to spread their wings, including Falcon.
And like you said, there's a lot going on, but for me, I consider myself a layman person.
Yeah,
I mean, I've seen all the movies.
Yeah, but you're not a comic book nerd.
I was able to keep up with it. I knew what was happening the entire time.
Yeah. The bad guy or the bad guys or whatever, they're okay in this movie, but these movies don't...
Actually, I kind of wanted to point that out. There really is the villain in this movie is the dynamic between each other.
Right.
That's the villain, is the seated. There is a guy that kind of starts this, but that's not really the main villain of the movie, and I actually really like that.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to see another Ultron where you have this really cool villain and then he's dead by the end of the movie. And it's like, okay, who cares?
Okay, so that's our non-spoiler review.
Yeah, go see it. It's great.
Again, go see it. Now we're going to get into full spoilers. We're going to break down the movie. I have the Beautiful Mind notes written here.